While President Vladimir Zelensky says Ukraine intelligence has uncovered a plot for an attempted coup with the involvement of the Russians. Couldn't say we saw that one coming. Now, due to this, as should have taken place this week. Now, while speaking to the media today, Ukraine's president did not provide full details of the coup plot, nor did he accuse Russia directly, but said Ukraine would be ready for it. Now, the Kremlin, of course, swiftly denies any role in any coup plot. For weeks now, Russia has been building up forces near its border with Ukraine. Roughly more than 92,000 troops are standing ready. U.S. officials and NATO have expressed deep concerns in recent days about a possible Russian attack. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki briefly commented on those concerns last week.
We also continue to have serious concerns about Russian military activities and harsh rhetoric toward Ukraine and call on Moscow to de-escalate tensions. We have had extensive interactions with our European allies and partners in recent weeks, including with Ukraine.
As tension mounts in the region this week, Russia's military tracks a U.S.-guided missile destroyer after it entered the Black Sea to patrol with NATO allies a day after Russia conducted military drills there involving aircrafts and ships. Now, Ukraine is not a NATO member, but enjoys the backing from Washington, including defense aid and supplies of patrol vessels and anti-tank weapons. Joining us now, former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor and Newsmax contributor George Papadopoulos. George, good to see you, my friend. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. This is the second time in a month that Russia military tracks one of our guided missile destroyers. Why is Russia doing this? And more importantly, what is your perspective here about the U.S. commitment to making sure that Russia does not do the second time in this last decade what they've already done, walk into a sovereign nation and claim it for themselves?
Well, Joe, thanks for having me. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well. And let's look at the big picture here. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so do geopolitics. The weak and feckless leadership of the Biden administration on the global scale has invited regional powers like Russia and others, including Turkey, to seek a hegemony role in not only the Eastern Mediterranean, but in the Black Sea region. The United States had the potential to leverage Ukraine's role on the geopolitical chessboard by continuing to sanction the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, just like the Trump administration did. This is a pipeline which crossed between Russia and circumvented Ukraine into Germany. This prevented and actually diminishes Ukraine's ability now to negotiate a ceasefire in the east and diminishes its geostrategic positioning for the United States and all of Europe, and does nothing more than ossify the Russia-German relationship, and has invited Putin to continue the meddle in Ukraine's internal affairs. Now, regarding the greater part of the world and how this affects the strategic importance, the United States sees the Eastern Mediterranean and the Balkans today as an alternative route and source of energy for the European market. I just discussed this pipeline going from Russia into Germany, which circumvents Ukraine. The reason the United States is beefing up its military presence, not only in Greece, but now in Romania and Bulgaria, is because these three countries straddle not only the Aegean and the Mediterranean Sea, but the Black Sea. And because of Ukraine's diminished role due to the Biden administration's failed policy and strategy towards that country, now those three countries have had to carry an extra burden, and you're going to likely see further U.S. reinforcements, U.S. military personnel operating in the Black Sea, utilizing these countries. We're in a very heated moment right now with Russia, and we haven't seen this type of action and military buildup since 2014, the last time the Russians invaded Ukraine and eventually seized Crimea.
Absolutely. I think you go back to, what you talked about there. All roads, to me, lead to the Middle East. You had President Trump, one of the strongest leaders on the global stage, whether the left wants to admit it or not, the ability to forge those Abraham Accords, to codify stability in that region. If you look at a map to see what's happening right now, as you have China effectively taking over Kabul, that airport that we abandoned, China forming that $400 billion alliance with Iran, Russia moving west, trying to effectively lead to what appears to be a potential invasion of Ukraine. And all in the middle, again, are our allied nations in the region, now surrounded by this brewing axis of evil. It again appears to be a recipe for disaster that drags America back into a conflict that this Biden administration does not appear to be ready for.
This is exactly, and this didn't actually start with the Biden administration. Ukraine was invaded during the Obama administration. This is part of what leading from behind is. Our allies and our foes are watching the U.S. foreign policy posture very closely. When the United States abandons allies, and it has under President Biden in Ukraine, Israel, you will see foreign adversaries, including Iran, China, Russia, seek to fill the power vacuums which have emerged in not only the Ukraine Black Sea theater, but also the Asia Pacific, in Afghanistan. You mentioned China. China, the U.S. military muscle, has opened the door to Chinese investments in a country which sits on $2 trillion worth of rare earth minerals. We also are witnessing China being emboldened in Taiwan, a very strategic island nation, which is the key, the epicenter of the semiconductor industry around the world, which feeds our electronics, our vehicles, and our PCs, and will be the future of the space race. So this is something that the world is watching very closely, and unfortunately, the Biden administration is completely clueless. The architects of U.S. foreign policy need to get serious about what this means, not only for the domestic home front, but our standing in the world.
Absolutely. You go back to that Obama administration, drew a red line in Syria. They crossed it. We did nothing. Allowed Russia to walk into Crimea. Obama did nothing. We had Americans. We promised them. This president, Joe Biden, said we would not leave it behind. And then we did. The world no longer fears America. And we see the chaos that happens as a result. George, always good to see you, my friend. Hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you again soon.
You too, Joe. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.